This is another Christian woman or another Christian man that you spend time with, an accountability partner, somebody that where iron is really sharpening iron. And you know what happens when iron sharpens iron, don't you? There's a little friction and heat there. So it's not always the easiest thing, but it's voluntary. They're not cutting you. You're really sharpening one another like this, helping each other be the way that you need to be. Do you have that? I want you to talk about that. If you don't, I want you to talk about, do you see a need for that in your own life? This is all about you now, okay? Do you regularly see other church members outside of church meetings? All right? What's your level of community with them? And what, if anything, crowds out your ability to create deep friendships with other believers? Stand up, if you will, and answer those questions, and then sit back down when you're done, okay? Named Greg every Thursday morning from 6:45 to 7:30, and throughout we've been part of the same church for a few years. He taught me how to lead a group and coach groups in the 90s, and he has been a mentor of mine. But we regularly talk every Thursday. We use Skype. Because he now lives in Auburn, Alabama. And we talk about our thoughts, our hopes, our habits, and we're very transparent with one another. I also spend time with people in my life group doing this. A guy named John and I met every week to talk about these things. He was a little bit younger than I am. So there was someone that I was sharing with and someone that was sharing with me. And we had this kind of this ability to share deeply with one another. And this is what, and I'll talk a little bit about this tonight when I preach, so I won't spend a lot of time on it now, but this is what Philippians 2 talks about when it says, work out your salvation together with fear and trembling. Salvation is a free gift, but it's like being given a gift that's, let's say somebody gave you a Ferrari. That'd be a nice gift, huh? Right. Yes, all the men are like, oh, oh, oh. But the problem is, even if we were given a Ferrari and we weren't scared of it, we might really hurt ourselves or hurt the car or hurt a lot of people along the way, because that car actually takes some skill to drive. You can't just jump in that thing and drive it off. You might end up wrapping it around a tree and killing yourself. As a matter of fact, a lot of guys who finally end up buying a car like that do hurt themselves and kill themselves in that car because they never took the time to learn how to drive it. So they were given a gift that was very powerful. So our salvation is a very powerful gift, and it requires some training and some work. We've been given it, right? We can't earn it, but it doesn't mean that it's fully functional. It should be ignored. We should really work that, right? So I've got that, and I constantly look at my time. My earthly family is earthly. My heavenly family is forever. So I try to include as many people in my quality family time as possible. We need time with just our kids and just our spouses, and to where it's just us. And I'm not saying we shouldn't have that. But for instance, your children need to be modeled having an unbeliever at your dinner table. They need to know how to do that, and they learn how to do that from your example, loving people that are not like you, inviting other people, single people who need to use a washer or a dryer, invite them to come over and enjoy your family for the evening while they do their laundry at your house, inviting other people to come over and serve you. You know, one of the things that is very difficult for Christians to do is ask for help. We're very proud, right? People are proud in general. Christians tend to get very prideful. Oh, I am a Christian. I don't need help from anybody. And this is part of the inward process, is asking others for help. In my life group, I typically will ask someone to help me do something that I could do for myself or Etna could do for me, like drive me to the airport. I will ask one of them to drive me to the airport. Why? Because we do not have deep friends in America. We're busy with our debt, with our children, with our hobbies, with our interests. I don't even talk to you unless I need something from you, you know. And so here are some things that you can do that will really help you with inward. Find an accountability partner. Find another guy or another gal in this church that you can meet with on a regular basis, at least twice a month, if not every week, for about an hour. And accountability, understand, most people have a very negative understanding of accountability. Accountability is not me asking you, have you sinned? Have you lied to me about anything you talked to me about today? That's not accountability. Accountability is saying, these are my weak areas. And I need you to pray for me and help me watch for this. And if I stumble or I start to fall to temptation, I'm going to voluntarily tell you about that. You're not going to have to drag it out of me. And we should never have to ask each other if we've been lying to each other or not. This isn't about me being honest with you. This is about me being honest with me and letting you know that I'm being honest with myself. We're taking personal responsibility for our growth. So that's what it is. But the problem with most accountability partnerships, how many of you are familiar with accountability partnerships? You've heard the concept or something? The problem with them after about a year, they're just worthless. I just don't think, they keep going because you don't want to hurt their feelings. Because you don't want them to feel bad, right? And you might have developed a friendship, but you never talk about hard issues after about a year. So, I always recommend, set some goals. Tell them, I have a short-term goal. I want to lose 20 pounds before I go on vacation in October 15th. That's what I'd like to do. So that means I've got to lose about 2 pounds a week here, and that's my goal. That's my short-term goal. My long-term goal is to lose 45 pounds over the next 12 to 18 months and keep it off. And so these are my goals. It's just one of my personal goals, and that's a real goal for me. I know you don't think I need to lose any weight, but yeah, I do. I hide it well. So, and I tell Greg that, and he says, okay, that's a wonderful goal. How are you planning to achieve it? What are you going to do differently to lose weight? So then we work on that capacity, right? So it's not just set a goal, it's also share with your accountability partner how you plan to achieve the goal. And when you talk next time, if it's whatever you did isn't achieving the goal, then you change what you're doing to achieve your goal. And if you haven't done it, then you don't say, oh, I didn't get anything. I gained 3 pounds last week. I didn't lose any weight. What do you want to do about it differently? Well, I don't know. Well, that's not functional. You actually have to say, I didn't lose weight last week. I gained last week because I didn't work my plan. And my plan was to go to the gym and eat diet soup for lunch instead of eating burgers for lunch. And to cut burgers out of my diet, and I didn't do that. And this is great. What are you going to do next week to get on track? Because you can always start over, right? So what are you going to do? That's the kind of accountability that lets people grow. And I'm just using weight loss, but you can use this for finances. It can be the way that you treat your spouse, the way you treat your parents, the way you treat your kids. It could be your time in the Word. It can be anything. Set a goal for yourself and share it with somebody and say, I want you to encourage me in this. Here's my goal, and here's my plan to achieve my goal. So it's not about giving advice. It's about just being an ear for somebody and remembering what they say and praying for them. Second thing, call others for no reason whatsoever. They call them cell phones for a reason, because if you're part of a cell group, then you call people on your cell phone, right? I have all the people in my life group. I have their names and numbers in my phone, and when I'm waiting at the bank, sometimes you get there and there's 4 cars ahead of you, or you're at the grocery store and there's 16 people. I just call them for no reason at all. What are you doing? Well, I'm really busy. I have a presentation due in about an hour. Ooh, okay. I don't want to take up a lot of your time. Can I just pray for you that you'll have wisdom with your presentation? Oh, yeah, that'd be great, Randall. Lord, help Bob understand what to do in this presentation. And I pray that when he goes in there, he won't be nervous and he'll knock a ball right out of the park, and we'll give you the glory for that. Hey, Bob, give me a call when it's all done. Let me know how it went. I'll be praying for you. So I called him for no reason. I found an opportunity to encourage and pray for him. I prayed for him for 30 seconds or something, and I hung up the phone. Bob feels blessed. I didn't call Bob and say, Bob, groups next week, and I wanted to remind you to bring snacks. And because you're a snack guy and not a dessert guy, so that means you have to be there early. Okay, and you weren't there early last time. And so, you're not the dessert guy, you're the snack guy. So snack guys before, dessert guys afterwards. So most of the time we call people because we need something from them, or they need something from us. We don't just call. But remember when you're in high school? You talk to friends for no reason at all. You didn't have any reason to call them. But they're the best friends you ever had in the whole world, right? So start calling people for no reason whatsoever. I'm just calling you. Say, I'm calling you for no reason whatsoever. How are you? You know how your mom wants you to call her. Does she need to talk with you? No. She just wants to hear your voice. She loves you. right? So we just need to treat everybody like our